Hi, my name is Kathy. I have a PhD in psychology and I work as a trauma-sensitive yoga facilitator. Today, I'd like to invite you to explore a trauma-sensitive sensory meditation. Now, what will make this trauma-sensitive is the use of invitational language. So you'll hear me saying things like, maybe, you might, if you like. And this just emphasizes that you have choice and you are welcome to practice in a way that suits you. And it also allows space for individual differences. So throughout the meditation, you might not notice or experience some of the suggestions, and that's totally fine. That's totally normal. So from here, if you'd like to explore the senses, we might start. If you choose, maybe you start with a sense of touch. So maybe you notice the surface underneath you and the sense of pressure as your body contacts the surface underneath you. If it's helpful, you're welcome to move a bit from side to side, maybe exploring that sense of touch through movement. So maybe you notice, if you choose to move, maybe you notice the surface underneath you, your connection to the surface underneath you changing. And you're welcome to stay with that sensation. Or another option is to notice the sense of touch of your clothes contacting your skin. So maybe you notice areas of your body where you feel fabric touching your skin. And at any time during this meditation, if it's a sensation that you don't want to hold with, you don't want to explore, feel free to give it a miss. So if helpful, maybe you notice a sense of fabric touching your skin. And you are welcome to stay with sense of touch. Or another option here is to shift focus towards sense of smell. So if it works for you, maybe you shift focus towards sense of smell. So maybe you notice different aromas in your environment. Maybe they are sweet. Maybe they are savory. Maybe they're something else, something more neutral. And it's okay if you don't notice any smells. It's completely normal. And you're welcome to stay with sense of smell, or another option here might be shifting your focus towards sense of taste. So if you choose, maybe you shift your attention towards noticing taste. And maybe you notice sweetness, savory flavors. You're welcome to shift your focus over the surface of your tongue. Maybe noticing whatever flavor you notice. And it's okay if you don't notice any flavors today. Maybe you do. And if helpful, please feel free to stay with sense of taste. Or another option here is to shift focus towards sight. And you're welcome to practice with eyes open or closed. And wherever you are, you might notice a particular color that stands out. So, for example, with eyes closed, maybe you notice sort of a dark red. If your eyes are open, you might notice any number of colors that could stand out in your environment. With sense of sight, you might notice movement as our eyes can sometimes naturally sort of move about the environment. And with eyes closed, still may notice sort of movement. And feeling free to stay with sight if helpful. Or another option is to shift towards sensing sound. So maybe you notice sounds in your environment. Maybe you notice sounds just outside of the room you're in, if you are in a room. Maybe you expand your awareness further, maybe out towards the street. And maybe you expand further, perhaps searching for the furthest away sound that you can perceive. And feeling free to stay there. Or maybe you start to bring your focus inwards. So coming back in, perhaps into the room that you're in. Perhaps noticing sounds that you make. If helpful, you might notice the sounds of your breath. Or any other little belly sounds or body sounds. And feeling free to stay there, or you're welcome to shift your focus to any of the other senses. So perhaps one of the other senses touch, smell, taste, sight, hearing. You're welcome to focus on any of those, any that might have been interesting in any way. Or another option for practice might be noticing your mind move through the different senses, maybe shifting from sound to touch, to taste, to sight. So you might notice natural movement of the mind, of your mind. And feeling free to continue to practice for as long as it suits you. Or if you would like to bring the practice to a close, perhaps you bring a bit of movement into your body. Maybe you move a bit from side to side. Feeling free to move through fingers and toes if helpful. And then you're welcome to move your body in any way that suits. So some options might be sort of stretching out, or maybe you want to curl in. And from here, you could bring the practice to a close. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, wherever you may be. And thank you for practicing.